people, welcome back to the channel. Ewoma here. How una day? So guys, a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, yes, 2 days ago, something terrifying happened to me, and it kind of reminded me of a very traumatic experience I had as a child that gave me PTSD that I deal with till today, and has also given me some physical discomfort that I deal with till today. So if you're interested, then keep watching.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why.
So guys, the thing that happened to me as a child was that I was beaten up by a madman. Attacked. Yes, I was attacked by a madman. And when I say madman, I mean like a mentally unstable person, a mentally challenged person, the type we see in Nollywood, the type we see on the road, in the market and stuff. Yes, I was attacked by that kind of person when I was 8 years old. Since this thing happened, anytime I'm walking on the road and I see a mentally unstable person, instead of walking past this person, I'm going to enter the mirror. Like, I will walk into the road, whether cars are coming or not. Luckily for me, I've never been hit by a car before, even though one time I was almost hit by a car, and the owner of the car came down and they were shouting at me, and he was like, "You, when they don't kill finish for cover, you go find who will kill you for real life, so that they go hold the person." He was just swearing at me, basically. So guys, if you're in Nigeria and you know that there is no regulation for mad people or mentally unstable people, you see them in the marketplace, you see them walking on the road, nobody's taking them to the hospital, nobody's taking care of them. Sometimes you even say that some of them, end up, dying on the main road, and then that is when they now finally come and pick their body from there when it's decomposing. It will be so easy to think that, these people don't have family members, but it's a lie. Let something just happen to them. Let a car just hit one of them. You see family members jumping out from wherever they've been hiding to come and demand for, settlement and money. Before I even start giving you guys this gist, I just really wanted to, specify and clarify this, that this is not a fictional story. This happened to me. So guys, when I was a child, about 8 years old, I remember this clearly because this happened shortly before I entered secondary school, and I entered secondary school at 9. So on this particular day, my mom wanted to make her local delicacy, which is ekpan kuko. Is it which or which is anyone? Ekpan kuko is a special delicacy for people from, Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State. My mom is an Akwa Ibomite, and if you know, they don't play with this food. Just the way you cannot have like a Yoruba party without amala, a wedu gbegiri, and you cannot have a Igbo party without which food now? Is it ofensala, abi, which food is very, unique to the Igbos? Same way, you cannot have a special occasion without ekpan kuko. And an Akwa Ibom person's party, they only give to like very special guests. It's not the kind of food they just bring and start serving everybody. No. So my mom wanted to make this food this particular day, and I don't think it was any special occasion. I think she just missed eating it and just wanted to cook it. You know how sometimes you're like, jollof rice go sweet though, and then you go into your kitchen and you make jollof rice. So that was the case. And if you know ekpan kuko, the star or the celebrity ingredient in that food is the periwinkle. They call it infi, some people call it esam, and it's not the shelled one. They want the shell one because that is the effigy of the food. That is the swag of the food. She had every other thing to prepare this food at home except the periwinkles, which is the star ingredient of the food. So she asked myself and my younger brother to go and buy this periwinkle from a close by market. All these markets that are like in a street and you just have stores on both sides and people sell there, that kind of market. And the distance from my house to this market is like a 20-minute walk. It's really not that far. Yeah, it's really not that far at all. So there's this particular place you get to on your way to this market, and there is this family that have a madman there. Yes, they have this very mentally unstable person. Sometimes they chain him, sometimes they don't, depending on when his head is correct. Because I think I finally got to understand that mad people have season. Like, there's sometimes that their brain is hot and other times they're very calm. I think that was the case. So she warned us that if we go to this spot and we met this man and he was there, we should come back. When we got there, we actually saw the madman. And you think that, based on mommy's instructions, we'll come back home, right? No, we didn't. In fact, I remember my brother Mario telling me, "Ewoma, this is the man mommy talked about. Let us go back home." And I was like, "What do you mean you want to go back home? After trekking all the way from the house, you want to go back home? Don't you want to eat periwinkle? Don't you want to eat ekpan kuko? Abi, you don't want to eat the infi inside the ekpan kuko? Don't you want to eat it? In fact, guys, when we were growing up, every time my brother got into trouble, be rest assured that I was behind it. If my brother does something wrong, I talked him into doing it. If they caught him doing something nasty, I talked him into doing it. So I was like the bad voice in his head. So I managed to convince him that we do not need to go home. After all, the guy is just here eating. He's not paying any attention to us. So he was eating bread and water from that stainless steel cup. If you're an OG, you know now. You know that cup, that stainless steel cup that has the cover. Yes, he was dunking the bread inside the water and then he was eating it. So my brother was like, okay, let us go. Okay, so my brother was walking in front of me and then he walked past and nothing happened. Guys, this was not when the attack happened though. No, this was not when the attack happened at all. When I walked past, this madman threw his water at me. And one would think that I'll take that as a sign to, retreat. Retreat. Cancel the operation, but no. I went on. I just told my brother that maybe he wanted to throw the water away and he didn't realize that, we're walking past or we were there, so it was not a big deal. Finally got to the market to buy this periwinkle. And guess what? We did not meet the seller. So after all this journey, after crossing the 7 oceans and the 7 seas and the 7 mountains and valleys, we did not see periwinkle. So we even made an attempt to check other places in the market if we could find it because, I could not imagine not eating the periwinkle because even thinking about it now, I'm going to call my mom to make cake pankoko for me because I want to eat it. You see, don't hungry me instantly. So we're like, okay, that means we need to go back home. We didn't find it. And then we're not even with any phone that I can call my mom and say, oh, mommy, we did not see it too. We're just like, oh yeah, let's be going. It was when it occurred to me that we may likely pass this man again to get home. So when we're going, I didn't even see the man there. And if you know me, if you're very close to me, you know that I'm not one that notices things that are in front of me. When I'm walking on the road, my eyes are like in front. So a lot of times I may walk past somebody and the person will be like, Ewoma. And then when I turn, I'm like, and then it's when I turn, I'll not greet the person. But when the person was in front of me, I will not see the person because my eye ahead. So I'm guessing my eye was looking up and I didn't see the man at all. But I know I saw a woman and she was like, Una no go run. And I'm like, running for what? Run to where? So I heard my brother scream and he ran past me. And I brought my eye down and I saw that this madman carried block. Not ice block, oh, no. I'm talking about cement block, the ones that they used to build houses. This man picked up a cement block and he threw it at me. Hey, in fact, just imagine it in your head. Imagine me running, and the block goes boom, wah, and it hits my back. When this block hits my back, guys, I didn't even realize that anything happened to me because obviously my adrenaline was pumping. This was clearly a situation of life and death. And I even realized that while I was running, I didn't even see my brother. He ran left, I ran right. We didn't see each other. So I even started crying for my brother. And then I think we somehow found each other. I can't really remember how we found each other, but we found each other and then children, we started laughing. What are we laughing for? Something bad just happened and we're laughing. We're like, you just see the block. Oh, no, you see that block? That guy get power. Children, when the Bible says that foolishness is in the hearts of children, it did not lie at all because that there was outright foolishness. Foolishness. So we're laughing, we're like, oh, my, the guy gets strength too. Of which thinking about it, I wonder what is it with all these mentally unstable people. They seem to have extra strength. It's almost like what they lack for, brain. It's almost like what they lack for having sense or having brain or being in the right frame of mind. They make up for having extra energy. I've heard cases of people that have been attacked by mad people. In fact, when we were growing up, there's this popular story I heard that a girl that was hawking was actually by a madman. Insert the word. She was R-A-S-T-E-D by a madman. Did I spell that correctly? Yes, I heard that story when we were little. And I even heard that people tried pulling this man away, but no, they could not stop him and he succeeded. You can see how gross it is. So we turned it into a joke and we're laughing about how strong he was and how, he threw the block at me and stuff. Guys, as we're now walking, I realized that my chest was doing me somehow, like my chest was tightening and opening. I was feeling very uncomfortable, like I couldn't breathe. But I just blew off the thought and I felt maybe it's because we just ran, a long distance and that is why I'm out of breath. Long story short, we got home and then when we got home, we broke the news to my mom, of course. No periwinkle, no mfi, which automatically translates to no ekpankoko for today. And then we're like, Mommy, do you know what happened? Madman stoned me. And my mom was like, hold up. rewind, what did you say? And I was like, yes, so madman even stole me, but we ran. No, my mom was like, stole you where? Where did he hit you? And I said, on my back. So of course she quickly turned my back and she raised up my shirt, and that was when we saw the result of what happened. Guys, my back went from being like flat like this to being like this. There was this really big bulge on my back, and I can't even explain it. I can't even remember if like I had an open wound, but I know that my back was so swollen. I trust African parents. My mom started to shout, she started to wail, she started to cry, and the next thing she did was to call my dad on phone and tell him, oh, this thing happened, we need to go and get this man arrested. You can imagine they want to go and arrest madman. I can't remember how things eventually played out on that side, because I mean, nobody's going to come and start giving me updates that they've arrested the man or anything like that. And then the next thing my mom did, as a typical, Nigerian mother, is to grab her anointing oil. Wait, let me grab my own. Yeah, she grabbed her Goya anointing oil. In fact, the one she had is the one in the bottle. This one is in plastic. It was that one in the breakable bottle. Yes, that one. She grabbed it and then she started putting it on my back. She started praying, because at that time I was already like gasping for breath. My chest was paining me. I could not breathe well. So I'm guessing the impact of the block is what affected my chest or my heart. Better still. So I think I was taken to the hospital and I was treated. I can't even remember how this thing happened. I guess this event was so traumatic that my brain really tried forgetting about how it happened. Aside from shaking and having difficulty breathing when I see a mentally unstable person, another thing that has happened to me since I had that traumatic experience at 8 is that I'm always in pain on that region of my back. Every single time you see me, I'm in constant pain. The thing that happens to me is that anytime I touch that place, the sensation I feel is very different from what I feel when I touch other parts of my back. In fact, when maybe a particular part of your body is itching you, and then you try to scratch that place, but it's like it's not there, it's somewhere else. That is the exact feeling I have every time I touch my back. So I have struggled with this thing for almost 19 years now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, guys. That was the very traumatic experience that happened to me as a child. And thinking back at it, I can't even imagine this kind of thing happening to my daughter. See, I will lose my mind if I hear that this kind of thing happened to her. So back to the incident that happened to me a couple of days ago. I went out a couple of days ago and then I was carrying my daughter. So while I was walking on the road, as usual, I did look front. And then I noticed that there was this young guy coming towards me. He did not look mad at all. He was dressed very well. His hair was cut low, trouser okay, slippers okay. Nothing was wrong with him, guys. It was when this guy walked very close to me, I noticed that something was wrong with him, and he was talking to himself and he was like, "Come off the road with your useless self. Come off the road with your useless self." And I was already shaking, but already too close to the point where I could not avoid him anymore. So I just shifted and then he walked past me. Guys, it was when he walked past me, I heard people around saying things like, "Hey, yeah, this guy went just run mad newly." I was like, "What do you mean newly?" So apparently this guy just ran mad like 2 days ago. Hence, he was still looking neat and clean. That was why it was difficult to tell that something was wrong with him. So guys, that is the end of my story, my very traumatic experience as a child. Let me know in the comment section, have you ever had any experience with a mentally unstable person? Because I feel like it's only me that have had experiences with mentally unstable people. Yeah. I think the lady that wants to help me lose my hair is here already. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you've watched this point and you enjoyed my story, please let me know in the comment section also. So guys, if you enjoyed this story, you think it was funny, even though when it happened it was not funny, but you found it interesting, indicate in the comment section as well. Give me a huge thumbs up. Also, if you've not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want.